How did Nathan enjoy your blue hair? He said I look like Ninja. I actually like my blue hair a lot. I might keep it forever now. I'm so sorry. I have never gotten, this must be like what pretty women or maybe pretty men feel like. I have never gotten so much attention from women in my entire life. It's actually insane. It is so easy because every girl will like look at my hair and they see it. And like a lot of them will stop and say like, oh my God, like such a nice hair. I've never had like a girl compliment me before randomly in public. Probably never in my entire life. I don't think I've ever in my entire life had a girl stop me like, wow, you're so handsome, or you're so like, maybe like my mom. But I've had like probably over 15 people in the past like 2 weeks, women, half of them older, like 40s or 50s or whatever, like just being polite. And then like the other half, like probably like, yeah, like late 20s, 30s, are like, oh, nice hair, whatever. Especially if I'm like in an elevator with a woman, it's like an instant conversation starter. Like it's insane. Jesus Christ, yeah. Are they joking? No, I mean, it does look nice. Or I think, well, it's a little fucked right now because I didn't use my blue conditioner, but I think the color is pretty nice. It's starting to green a little bit, but it's because I didn't use the blue conditioner today. I'll probably re-dye professionally next time instead of like doing the self-dye. Although the guy did a good job on it, so. But yeah, I don't know. But I think my issue before with like doing hair dye is I don't like the way my hair feels, which sucks. Well, it doesn't feel as bad anymore now that I've conditioned it a fuck ton. The thing that I always worried about is that I don't like, when I see dyed hair, I associate it usually with two things. One is with not very vibrant colors. Like this blue is like, especially on the top still, is like a really cool color blue. So I like that. And then two, a lot of product. I don't like product. But that just might be because I'm a fucking loser or conservative upbringing or whatever. I don't like a lot of product in hair, like the spiky shit. If I feel like if I touch your hair, if it's gonna feel crusty, it is one of the biggest turnoffs. I think it's like one of the big things that keeps you from being like really bisexual is like fucking men's hair. Because like traditionally nice looking guys always have product in their hair. And I don't know, when it comes to like women, like one of the funnest things is like, I wanna like touch your hair and like run my fingers through like your scalp. Like that's like a fun, intimate thing to do. And I would never touch a guy's hair ever. It's like the most disgusting fucking thing in the world. We to touch a guy's hair and feel like the fucking polyurethane force field of nasty fucking gel and what I could never do it. It's fucking gross. It is like one of the most disgusting. It's like shit. It's actually shit. Like if I went to like finger a girl and she turned around and there was shit smeared on her asshole and I could smell it wafting up, like she fucking smeared. That's what product in men's hair is for me. That's how fucking gross it is. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's the reason why I traditionally didn't like dyed hair, is because I always seen it that way. Raptor Balls, thanks for the $49.99 again, my friend. Sorry, Jesus, that was a lot. The only thing I don't like about my hair is when I'm driving, because I'm pretty sure people see me get out of my car and they assume that I dyed my hair to match my car, which makes me look hella fucking stupid. What the fuck is the difference between women product and men's hair products? Women's hair products tend to like make their hair feel like silky and smooth and nice, usually, whereas men's hair products are things meant to like make it spiky or stick up. I'm sure, I'm generalizing a lot. I'm sure there are probably some men that don't do that, and I'm sure there are probably some women that do, but I've never felt like a woman, actually, no, that is true. I felt women's hair with like dreadlocks before and shit. That feels gross. Oof, not a big fan of dreadlocks. I remember you saying you didn't like compliments on your appearance much. Was that more related to generic stuff like saying you're handsome or by features you don't? I don't like compliments from people that love me because they, of course, they're gonna compliment. Those comments don't mean anything to me, right? Like if my mom says that I'm handsome, you're my fucking mom. Of course you think I'm handsome. I don't care, right? Or if Melina says you look nice, like of course you're my fucking wife. Of course you think I look nice. If a stranger says it though, they probably really mean it. It's like, oh damn, cool. Oh, another thing. Hold on, real quick. My friend made a Twitter account too. Here you go. Follow that guy. He's a cool dude, I heard. Yeah, I don't think my old ones are ever getting unbanned. I've had a couple of people. I think I had 2 different people that are now, because now I actually have, I've got more friends that are closer to higher ups or people on like the trust and safety team, some ex-members of the Twitter. And apparently my account was flagged for, ban evading, making new accounts so that I could make violent threats on all of the new accounts that I created, which I'm 99% sure has never happened. I think that there was like, if I had to guess, the person at Twitter that didn't like me is like some hyper SJW, and every time they caught me ban evading a new account, they probably gave it like the violent threat ban or something, like the most extreme ban. That would be like that'd be my guess. But I have no idea. I wish I could see like the tweets. That would be like like show me the tweets. Because like the only threats I ever made on Twitter, if I made any, would have been like on the Stephen Bunnell account towards like Cox, like fucking 7 years ago. But on every single new ban evaded account, it's always only gotten banned for ban evasion. I've never gotten banned ever on any of my new accounts for anything besides ban evasion. So yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of dumb. Are you able to get cable internet in the meantime while they work on the fiber? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. The wasn't your original ban a threat? So are they just saying with the original ban? Well, my original ban was the bomb threat to Cox, which was fair. But the I made that second account, Omni Destiny. That was an okayed account. That was like an officially okayed Twitter account. Like I made Omni Destiny, and then they banned that one for ban evasion. And then I filed an appeal, and I said like, oh hey, I understand that I did this, or blah blah blah. And maybe Twitter was a smaller company back then, not that small. And I was like, oh, but can I make a new Twitter account? And then they unbanned the Omni Destiny one, and that one operated like in the official like okayness of Twitter. That account was verified back when verification was like a real thing that meant something. The Omni Destiny account was a verified okay to operate account. I made a Mastodon account, but I don't know if the most important thing for a social media account is it's nice to have a place to tweet out like, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, because it's hard for people to keep track of like when I'm doing shows or when I'm doing other things. It's nice to have an account to tweet stuff like that out. But I don't know if anybody uses like fucking Mastodon or anything, so I'm not sure. Was it the cross-burning tweet the first time? No, I've never gotten banned for the cross-burning tweet. Everybody seems to think that, but that just didn't happen. Like that Omni Destiny account got banned like a year or two after I think that cross-burning tweet happened. Like that wasn't the tweet that got the account banned. Do you think websites like Twitter shouldn't be able to permaban you without telling exactly what tweets, posts got you banned because websites have the ability to nuke someone's online presence without knowing? Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's like a whole thing that goes into that. Can you post that stuff on Reddit? Maybe. It'd be kind of spammy. I don't know. Tell us a little bit about the serious stuff you're talking about. Give me a crumb of content after this Omega drought. Something that I've done really well is I think I understand a lot of different points of view. I'm really good at figuring out why people think the things they do, relating to them on an emotional level, making them feel understood and heard. I think that's something I've done exceedingly well this past year, especially. Something I want to do more, though, is I think I've done a little bit too much understanding, and I need to figure out a way to do a little bit more pushing. So, like, from now on, like, I'll do my best to understand, but then I need them to understand my point of view, too. That's not something I usually try to do. Usually I step inside somebody else's bubble, and I try to make them understand that I understand them. Like, okay, I get your concerns, blah, 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 blah. But now I need to, like, once I'm in there, I need to invite them into my space. Like, hey, like, I need you to understand this side. And that's something I haven't done very much this past year, but that's kind of like my goal. It's kind of goes along with the, it goes along a little bit with the statement I made before about every time I get invited to these like lay epic centrist podcasts, we always talk about how cool it is to have challenging conversations, but we never actually have any challenging conversations. So my goal is to start having more challenging conversations. Also, once I'm done with Factorio, I've gotten a little bit better at this, but I'm going to continue to ramp up. Like, engagement with literature is really important, and we need to be doing that way more. I'm trying to do this on stream now every time I say something, but like, I don't ever want to say anymore. This is something I'm trying to eliminate from my vocabulary. Studies say, or it's been studied and this is the thing. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to say, this study, that was this study by this person published in this journal. That's like my goal. I should be able to do that from things. I think you sound way more authoritative. It means you're familiar with the individual studies. At the very least, you've done like a quick sweep of the methodology and you've read the abstract and conclusion, just so you have like a general rough idea of what the study is about. I think abstract, methodology, depending on what you're talking about, and then conclusion, I think are three good things to have. And then like what's the journal it's published in, who's the author or authors. Being able to do stuff like that and have those ready to rattle off, I think is really powerful. And it helps me make sure that there's a lot of veracity to my claims as well, because there's a lot of things sometimes where I say like, oh, studies say, and there's a lot of things that people don't know when it comes to like, I've said this before, a lot of people don't know, a lot of people think there's a lot of research out there, and there's not that much research out there. So like, for instance, when people always say like, oh, like there's all these studies on how hard it is, for instance, for black people to get jobs based on their names. No, that's not true. There's like one study. It was one big study, black employment names, less likely call back. I think it was just in like 2003. But this was like, there was one really big study. There was one really big study that showed this, but people will always say, every time people refer to like things, they always just say study show, study show, study show. And generally for a lot of these issues, there's only going to be like one or two big landmark studies, outside of like medicine and stuff, right? That people are going to be talking about. So it's good to know them, to be able to cite them, to be able to know what you're talking about. I think is, yeah.
Age bracket, you know? Yeah. Not taking you seriously. You gotta dump. You gotta stop wasting your time. Bro, you date these old ass predators. The guy's 7.
But when it comes to studies, most people have zero understanding of statistics. You think understanding statistics would help your claims? I think you just have to have better analogies. You got to work on better analogies. Some analogies that I've come up with are like killer analogies. That's like, once you lay it out, it's like, holy fuck, obviously I'm right, and you sound so dumb. And other analogies are a little bit more convoluted, and it doesn't communicate the message as well. I think it's just that's an entirely separate skill of communication, where it's like, okay, I have this relatively complicated like thing, and now I need to find a way to explain, like, I have to explain this thing. I need to do this year. I need to take a stats class. I have to be able to take I need to take a stats class. I need to take a stats class. I need to have like a better statistical understanding of like, what does it mean to like rejecting a null hypothesis, for instance. Like, what does it mean when you've got a 95% confidence interval where the null hypothesis is included in that confidence interval, meaning your study hasn't like actually demonstrated, like stuff like this. Like I have like a weak understanding of it, but not very thorough. I just have to do a stats class. I was really good about taking random classes a long time ago. Like I took like a couple econ, like audiobook college courses, like fucking 6-7 years ago. I did that Stanford one on all the race shit. I need to do a stats class. I need to do a stats. I have to do a stats class. Don't worry, most scientists have a weak understanding of the statistics too. Yeah, but it's good to know them, and you have to be so much smarter than the people that spread conspiracy theories. You have to know so much stuff. The burden of proof is so high. Especially with like COVID shit. Oh my God, you have to know so much shit. What's the difference between absolute risk versus like relative risk? Like all these different things. I'm sure, but again, I think like taking like a stats class would help you. Like, yeah. Like, does it matter, for instance, if something is statistically significant? Like, that's like a stats term, and most people don't know what that means, right? Like, statistically significant, there's a math definition. I think, doesn't statistically significant just means there's a math thing? I don't know what it means. It's like 95% confidence interval with like a difference from your main value or something. But basically like, so like, let's say that you measure two groups of people, and you can say that like, oh, there's a statistically significant difference in IQ between group A and group B. When people hear statistically significant, they think, wow, there must be a big difference. But that's not true. It just means that there is a difference with a high confidence interval. So for instance, I think Sapolsky gave this in one of his Stanford lectures. There is a statistically significant increase in IQ from a second child to a first child. Like your second child will have a statistically significant higher IQ because it's like very, very, very high certainty, and then it's like it's well studied. But like the difference is like 1 point, right? So that can be statistically significant, but it's a small change, right? It's like effect size versus like confidence intervals and all this shit, or versus confidence. I think I should say, yeah. Like even I'm like use some of these terms incorrectly. I have to take that course. I have to, yeah.